All right, so we are back with Lisa Waterslane in the studio. She comes each week with your garden questions. Just what are your neighbors talking about? What's going on in other people's gardens, and we can share that advice or concerns or notice to other folks. Just making you aware.
Mhm.
Welcome to the studio, Lisa.
Thank you. Good to
Yeah,
be back.
got a nice lake glow to you, nice tan going on.
Yes, kind of, sort of. Or is it just sweat from the day? I'm not sure.
We were on Lake Powell, so
Yes.
last weekend, and
Hmm.
so there the lake is low. So everyone
Oh,
kept
yeah.
asking, "Well, is the lake low?" I'm going, "Yeah," but there's still hundreds of miles of lake if you can just get your boat into it. So they've only got one boat ramp. It's only
Uh-huh.
got two lanes. They're super efficient. Usually they've got two huge, ginormous
Hmm.
boat ramps, like 14 lanes each. Now they're down to two, but they've got so much help there that it just really
Yeah.
flows fast. I'm just super impressed with the National Park Service, what they're doing.
Hmm.
They've really done a good job
They did.
with a difficult lake level.
Right, right.
So
So
actually,
there's
you get to see more of the lake, more cliffs,
more beaches.
more beaches. Now
Lots of
if you
beaches
can just get
there.
your boat down there,
Yeah, we got it down. We got it out. No problem. And
no problem.
yeah, someday I'm gonna have to learn how to back a boat.
Really, folks, you heard it here.
I
She wants
said
to learn how to boat
someday. I
to
said
back a trailer.
someday.
It's a little boat, 24 foot. So just slide it right back in the water, goes right off.
Yeah, it's I don't have the backing gene. That's all there is to it.
Next truck we get, it's going to have backing cameras over, under, back, from all over the place. So I think that technology exists.
I
So,
hope so because I don't have it. Oh
so
well,
what about gardening? What kind
sure.
of garden things are people talking about?
I do have the gardening gene.
You sure do, without doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jack needs to put in, he was thinking about putting in Deodar Cedars because he needs to block his neighbor's new RV garage. So he wants to block that. He was looking at the Deodar Cedars, wants to know are there any negatives to those guys that he should be aware of? And is there something equally better that maybe he should take a look at?
Yeah. So Deodar cedar is the fastest growing of the evergreens. One of the fastest. And so, I mean, Arizona cypress, there's several junipers that can do this, but Deodar cedar's super fast.
Hmm.
The negative with it, it doesn't have any real predators, bugs, diseases. What it does have is just super fast growth, and it overgrows its welcome.
Hmm.
It overgrows its space because it's so aggressive. And so it can get too big for certain areas. So you see a lot of folks plant those near their driveways, and they've been cute little Christmas trees for 10 years. And all of a sudden, you'll see them limb them up because the
Hmm.
branches are now swooping, and half the driveway is
Right.
now covered in evergreen, boughs, jumping over the you can't park.
Hmm.
So you start seeing them. I call it Dr. Seussing. They just start making them look like Dr. Seuss cartoons as they trim them up so they fit their space better. You can
Yeah.
almost drive underneath them.
Hmm.
And so that sounds like for an RV garage, perfect choice. Oh my goodness, for a screening back corner of a smaller lot. Great. Don't put it by the patio. Put it out by
No.
the back corner where it can afford to get some size to it.
Hmm.
Put it on that northwest side to cut that cold winter wind that blows from us out of that northwest. It'll just cut that wind so there's less
Hmm.
cold coming at you. It reduces your heating bills at that point.
Right.
So there's a lot of ways to use it. I wouldn't put it right on a street.
Hmm.
It's not a street tree. It'll
No.
lift your patio. It'll lift the sidewalk. It'll lift the street. So just kind of give it where it's got space.
Right.
And that's a good choice. But for them, for an RV
Hmm.
garage, put two or three of them in. It'll be gone by next a year from now. It'll be
You'll
gone.
never know it was there.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is a little long, but listen.
Okay.
It's from Patty in Chino. She has a area by the side of her house that's an easement.
Okay.
She had a lot of prickly thistles, all that kind of stuff. She got that pulled out of there. She wants to know, is there a grass seed or a wildflower mix she can
Yeah.
put over there that will pretty much take care of itself because it's not an area where she can get a lot of
Yeah.
maintenance and water and all that kind of stuff. So is that a possibility or would she be wasting her time?
No, not a waste of time at all. And we've got, what is it, three, maybe four wild mixes that you can put out there, and they can be pretty. You don't have to just go with grassy stuff. We've got 2 grass mixes. One's called Western Native Mix. It's what you see on the side of the road. You can go plant that and it will turn that easement into it. And once it starts filling in, it will get rid of those thistles. It chokes out all the other native weeds, tumbleweeds, goat head, horehound, all these nasty weeds. Yeah. And so I would say get that down. But we've also got a meadow mix. It's a real low growing mix with some wildflowers in it. And then we've got an Arizona and I think a Rocky Mountain and a butterfly and some other. We've made some of our own wildflower mixes. So you can have some serious color. I mean, it could be a flower patch that will take care of itself. Yeah, it's Gaillardia and Echinaceas, some of these really penstemons, really tough things, but they're pretty too. This time of year, they're glorious. And a mix, they tend to change colors. So they get in the spring, it'll be a different set of flowers, and in the summer is different than the autumn. And so you see this change of things. And in the winter, like a lawnmower over it, seed will go flying everywhere. It'll come up even better next year. This is a good time to spread that out. Take advantage of the moisture, humidity, the cooler days. It'll germinate pretty fast right now. So yes, come see us. We can handhold you. Walk you. I've blended 2 things. You can take the Western mix and some wildflowers together and make your own mix easily.
Okay. So not a waste of time or money.
That's not so long, Patty. That was pretty easy. We deal with the easements all the time.
Okay. Next question is from Lynn. She wants to know if blue spruce are susceptible to borers and other boring eating type insects. And is there something you should do to pre-treat them that would be valuable?
Sure. Yeah, they can. So your Ips beetle, bark beetle, flathead borers, there's certain tip borers, there's certain things that love the taste of evergreens. They prefer the taste of ponderosa pine, junipers, pinyon pines, our native stuff. That's what they're trained to, but they'll attack anything that's stressed. So if your evergreens get stressed at all, you are very susceptible. Treat them. And so the best thing you can do for all of your evergreens, fertilize them now. They're going to fertilize them in the fall of the year. They're going to use that food and store it up, and they're going to use that for next spring's flush of candle growth. So that'll get it to be thicker, fuller, active, new growth. It prevents bugs from getting in. So do that. Fertilize with all-purpose plant food. There's a 744 mix that we make here that's evergreens just respond so well. It's got some sulfur, some iron, some fairy dust. It's just magic stuff in a bag that evergreens love. In addition, going back to your specific point, is there something I can do to keep the bugs out? If I've got bugs, it'll get rid of them. And then it lasts for a year, it keeps them out. It's called Plant Protector. It's a liquid. You can mix it up yourself. Mix it up in a watering can. Pour it right at the base of the tree. The plant will absorb it, and it protects that tree, kind of like an antibiotic or vaccine. It's a vaccine for trees. It keeps the bugs out of the trunk of the tree, from the tips or from the trunk, from the base or from the top. It will permeate the entire cambium layer of that tree. Keeps them healthy.
Would you think about adding humic this time of year?
Humic, yeah. Humic is especially stress trees. So humic acid, or humic, is what we sell in a 20-pound bag. It's an organic compound. If you take a compost pile and you just boil it right down to its last elements of humic acid, what humic acid does, it helps plants root. So if you've got a brand new landscape, humic acid, it just really works. Stressed out trees, you've overwatered, underwatered, it's just hitting a rock shelf, something's going on, the roots are just stressed out. Humic, along with the fertilizer, use at the same time. So the food is going to promote the upper growth. The humic actually encourages or tickles the feet or the roots underneath that plant, so it starts to root out deeper, larger, more root mass. So the plant will actually do better. Your worms will be happier. Your soil will be better. There's a lot of benefits to humic. Absolutely.
So there's a lot you can do.
We are out of time, Lise, just like that. So we'll be right back, though. Don't go anywhere. So more garden tips, tricks, and garden hacks after this.